Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, a podcast that reviews movies and talks about nerd shit. This is episode 580, and it is your review of El Topo. As always, it is the nerdy Chicano here to host the show alongside my wonderful co-host, Brad, Young Yoda,
Sup,
Random
sup,
Germ
every,
101, whatever
sup,
you
sup,
call him.
sup, 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 everybody. I wish I was drinking a El Topo Chico.
You were waiting for that one, weren't you, motherfucker?
I
Weren't
was
you
holding on to
waiting? You
that.
were waiting for that one. Serious, that you held that one in there, right? You were like biting your
Eh,
tongue, waiting
eh,
for.
yes.
God damn it! And I can't even. My Topo Chico would usually be right here in the ground, but it's actually in the fridge right now.
In the
But
fridge.
yeah, you
I
were
will.
waiting for. I knew it.
Man, like, people don't know Topo Chico is like that is straight like water. The water itself is great. The beverage itself is great, and the alcoholic ones are great.
I like the one with lime.
The lime is good. One with
While
lime
I
is
was
good.
in while I was in the hospital for the kidney stone, my brother bought me one of those, and I was
Yeah,
like, "Yo, I really like this
those are
one."
lit. Those are lit.
Yeah,
The alcoholic ones are good too.
yeah.
If
Well,
people drink want to know.
yeah, yeah. But yeah,
It's
Brad.
refreshing.
We just got done with our Santa Sangre review, so we're doing this one
Yeah. Now
next.
we're moving on to the weird.
Yeah.
The weirder.
So yeah, I don't know. So I've never seen the Holy Mountain, but I heard that the Holy Mountain is pretty like out there as well. So
Is that on this level?
I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
I don't know how anything this is probably top 3 weirdest movies we've had a review on this damn show.
Yeah.
Easily. This is probably top 2 and not 2.
We've got to watch a lot of stuff, guys. But at least Brad, next week I'll cleanse your palate because of course we're gonna do another Jodorowsky, right? But we're
Yeah.
gonna do an Edward Yang film on the
I
Thursday.
do
So
love Edward Yang film.
yes, I'll cleanse that little palate of
Yeah,
yours.
people don't
Yeah.
know Edward Yang. Edward Yang makes great movies that I enjoy, and not
Yeah.
weird psychedelic trips of a
I feel
hellscape
like it was
that
a
I never want to
disservice.
be in.
I feel like we were a disservice that we didn't watch this. So we watched it sober.
You want to watch this over?
I said I think it was a disservice that we watched it sober.
Oh, this, yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah. I don't think I had a drink or anything. I just started this and was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm scared.
I'm scared. Brenda, hold me.
Hold me, Brenda. Luckily, Brenda did not show up in any point for this movie
Yeah.
because I would not have been able to explain anything.
Yeah.
Just like anybody listening this review, before the warning goes up out there, whatever you can listen to this and not understand a damn thing about this movie.
Yeah. I did do my research though, and I do have to say something before, and it gets if anybody wants to bring it up in the future. Um, I found out about what actually went down on this set, and I just want you all to know that we do not in any way condone what Jodorowsky did to that woman. Um, Alejandro Jodorowsky actually did assault somebody on this set
Oh, Jesus Christ.
when in a certain scene that we'll talk about.
Was
But
it the ripping the clothes?
yeah,
Okay.
so he actually assaulted her, and I did not know this. Uh, I had never read into the situation. I had heard that something went down on the set, but I never knew there was something of that magnitude. Um,
And it
but
was
like
in the
I always,
film.
huh?
It was in the film, for Christ's sake.
I had never watched this movie, Brad.
No, I know. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like, he kept
yeah,
it in the fucking film.
yeah. Which and then having to read what he justified it with, I was disgusted by like as I continue to say, as we continue to look at various films from different periods and different people, we are solely reviewing based on the merit of art and what the movie is doing. We do not come on here to, you know, view the man, which
Yeah,
if
I mean,
I can tell you that the man's a piece of shit.
if we
Yeah,
had to review every director we've ever watched a movie from, a lot of them are horrible people.
yeah, yeah. And like I've always said, what's it called? And I'll be the first. I'll here. I'll say the man is a piece of shit. Alejandro Jodorowsky, the man is a piece of shit, and it was really wrong that he did that. But we are still going to continue to talk about this film because there's some interesting stuff that happens in here, and there's some interesting, themes that are thrown around. But I just wanted to bring that up because I had done my research and I was like, oh shit, that's disgusting. It's
See,
really,
I never heard this, and
yeah,
and I always thought the worst thing you ever heard of was Quentin Tarantino putting Uma Thurman in a car she didn't know how to drive, but now,
yeah.
ugh.
It was the same thing with like Bertolucci's Last Tango in Paris, where him and Marlon Brando, what's it called? Actually, what's it called? Planned the night before to, what's it called? Actually, penetrate the woman with a stick of butter, and
Oh, Jesus
she didn't know
Christ.
about it. But yeah, but that situation's also like all over the place because apparently, like Marlon Brando, what's it called? Didn't actually know that he was gonna do that only until there was like all these different things that were said. But either way, what I'm trying to say is that it was wrong what Alejandro Jodorowsky did, and we are going to be talking about this film solely on the basis of what the film is and
What was on
um,
the screen?
what's on the screen. And but just rest assured that me and Brad believe wholeheartedly that that was wrong and it was a terrible act, and that it is a damn shame that he still was able to make movies after that because that is disgusting.
Yeah.
Which also kind of what's it called makes sense as to why he doesn't make movies anymore, because
Have-
after the Me Too movement is when all this got brought up. So
Is he still alive?
yes, he's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah, very much alive. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just
he's not
killing
that
off.
old, Brad.
I'm just killing off people like Roll does.
Yeah, I promise, Brad.
Poor Francis Ford Coppola.
That man made a whole new movie this year, and I've killed him off longer than
Must have
anybody.
been like 7 times you've killed that man off.
Yep. Man, this guy's an old fart, bro. Holy shit! February 17th, 1929. This
Well,
man is.
this film is from 1970.
Yeah,
You kind of figure.
yeah. Well, let's stop delaying the inevitable. Let's go ahead and talk about this film. So, if you have not watched El Topo, you should probably get out of here if you care about spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen the film, go ahead and stay. Either way, how it goes is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bradley, can you read for us?
All right, coming from our one and only source, Wikipedia. Oh, Topo, aka The Mall, is a 1970 Mexican acid western art film written, scored, directed by and starring Alejandro. How do you say his last name?
Jodorowsky?
Jodorowsky. Characterized by its bizarre characters and occurrences, use of maimed and dwarf performers, and heavy doses of Judeo Christian symbolism and Eastern philosophy. The film is about El Topo, a violent, black clad gunfighter played by Jodorowsky himself, and his quest for enlightenment.
All right. Um, it's a pretty short one, right? Give me cinematographer and all that stuff, Brad.
Cinematographer. Um, Rafael Corchidi. Edited by Federico Landeros. Music by the director himself. Kind of weird, but okay. Um, Running time of 124 minutes and budget of $400,000.
My God. Yeah. That's well. Let's
Drugs are expensive, even in the 70s.
don't have to pay much. Don't have to pay for a permit when you're in the desert, bro.
I mean, they.
You gotta pay for a permit, bro.
No, no, bro.
He's like, I don't know about that, bro, because in
I
my
mean,
desert, you gotta pay for a
you
permit.
gotta pay for that shit. If you were in my desert,
I don't know how
but
it works
they did save on the clothing budget and quite a few scenes on this.
yeah. Oh my God. Well, Brad had originally brought this film to my attention during our Western month. We were already had chosen our films, and then he looked. He's like, El Topo. I wonder what that is. And I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, I've always heard the name Alejandro Jodorowsky, but I never like actually sat down to watch his films. I have a couple friends who are told me like, dude, I can't believe you never watched Jodorowsky. Like it's like you like Pasolini and you've watched Salo and you haven't watched Jodorowsky. And I was like, okay, well,
But like,
but it's a western. And I was like, okay, I wonder
mm,
what it's about.
I
You
mean,
know,
some kind of western.
yeah, we watched the trailer in the
It's set in the
StreamYard together.
west.
And I was like, it looks interesting. Brad chose it for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and let Brad go first this time around since this is his pick. Brad, what are
What
your initial thoughts on El Topo?
what am I supposed to say about this film? That is the one thing I don't know how to feel about this film. I don't know, like Raul said in the previous review that we just did for Santa Sangre. It's more of the experience than the overall, I guess, story. Um the overall experience I have of this is utter confusion and just in some scenes disgust. Um
Yeah,
yeah. It starts off weird and it stays weird and it ends weird. And I think Raul is right. It's an injustice to watch this sober. That's where I'm at with I don't know, like I could tell you what happened in the movie and you still wouldn't know what happened in the movie.
Brad, I think these are movies that I think we somebody should have just chosen for cinema condition because I have no idea. Like this is a movie that I think I have to rewatch, and I have to like
Th-
do my research and like
But
read a
there
couple of essays or something.
here's the thing though is it's like a big pot of soup. And you have
Yeah,
certain ingredients in a movie that make it a good soup. But you also have certain ingredients you start throwing in there, you got too much shit in the soup. There's too much shit in the soup in this movie.
yeah,
There's like Judeo-Christian symbolism, like they say. It's through the roof. At first I was like, okay, maybe he's having some discussion on religion in this, and it's like, well, then he throws in, deformed and just random stuff, deformed people and random stuff
yeah,
throughout it, and it's just like I don't know where he's going with this, and then it's a journey for a gunslinger to be a better gunslinger, but he's kind of like Moses because he shoots a rock that looks like a penis and it like sets out water. I don't know. I have a hard time understanding this movie. Is not my cup of tea. I don't even think it's Raul's cup of tea.
I'll say like I watched. So I sat down to watch this film, and I was so confused, but I couldn't stop looking at the screen.
I mean, it's kind of like a car crash.
Yeah, it's like
You
it's so
kind of
hard to
stuck
look
just
away.
watching it.
And I think that's the part that interested me the most. And I'll say this right now, I don't like this as much as I like Santa Sangre. My score is
No,
lower than Santa Sangre, but I can't help but still look at the screen and indulge in like this odd feeling of confusion meets kind of uncomfortability.
oh fair.
And to me, I think that movies that can actually elicit some of these reactions from you are doing something right because it means that you're feeling something from it.
I mean, it's kind of on par with Sallow. I think Sallow is a much better movie,
Oh,
but
one
it's on
one
it
thousand
one
percent.
thousand percent is a much better movie. Sallow is, and that's an utterly disgusting movie. Like
Yeah,
it is a very disgusting movie, but it does it way better than this movie does. Sometimes I think this movie is just weird, just to be fucking weird. I don't so
yeah.
I don't think he has a vision in some of these things. I think he just throws shit at the wall and sees what sticks.
And like I don't know, I guess this is his like because what's it called? It's 1970. This is 6 years after A Fistful of Dollars comes out, and 100% this gunslinger is supposed to be like some sort of like callback to the Man with No Name.
Well,
They've like
and if you're a Stephen King fan, there's
Dark Tower.
the Dark Tower series, and it starts out just like this.
Yeah,
I mean, in the desert, all clad in black. It starts just like this, and it's just like, okay, what fucking came first? I think this movie came first. So,
yeah. But like, and the fact that like his journey is like so he's this he we first see him with his son. His son is, by the way, his son is actually played by Jodorowsky's son, and he's
which thank
completely
God,
naked. Yeah,
yeah, thank
completely naked the whole time.
like like that was the whole thing for 45 minutes where this would it's hilarious how just this whole thing is because the kid is unclothed for 45 minutes throughout this film.
Yeah, yup.
And then the kid is just dumped off to the friars as he picks up his new
His new woman. Yeah,
his new woman. So I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it is like I think I just have to watch this again, and I have to actually pay like really close attention
Yeah.
to what's going on. Um, I don't want to equate this to Stalker because it's not Stalker. I think Stalker is
No, stop. No,
in
no.
every single
How?
form.
I'm wondering why you even elicit that name in this review because
Why I
Stalker is
would
one of the
invoke the
best
name of
sci-fi
Tarkovsky,
films
right?
ever
Why would I
made.
have to invoke the name of Tarkovsky? Because it's this kind of same feeling I got when I finished watching Stalker. I was like, I'm confused. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what I'm
No, no,
thinking.
no. But Stalker was somewhat confusing, but
But
you
it
had
is
an idea of
cohesive.
where he was going with it, of
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah. And this film is not cohesive. This movie
No,
is not cohesive. And I think that it's meant to not be cohesive because he doesn't really care about like structure to the plot. But
there's a plot
yeah, there is apparently there is because
that
I mean,
maybe interweaving in there of. I mean, I guess Wikipedia has said it best: a quest for enlightenment, which you get towards the end, and he is. I mean, he died and then he came back, and
his son takes over and then he just what's it called takes the woman and another and his son and just rides off and
yeah,
I think it just creates just the same what's it called the same pattern because it's just the same.
violence begets violence.
Yeah, violence begets violence.
Yeah,
But like I said, it's a movie that's confusing as hell. I have to actually sit down and like really think about what I'm watching. Maybe read a couple of things as to understand a little more what's going on. Maybe hit up YouTube.com and watch a couple of video essays. But I wasn't. I did not stop looking at my screen.
no,
Um,
I mean it. Like I said, it's a car crash. Like when you're watching weird
yeah,
shit, you're watching weird shit for a while.
yeah.
Um,
And like I said, films like Salo, um, what else like Eraserhead, all these films that we've watched that have like been in the realm of like surrealism and like these odd films have all done this better and in a more
yeah,
cohesive way. But
yeah. I mean, see,
to,
you just evoked Racerhead, and I love Eraserhead, and
yeah,
Eraserhead is weird. Like, don't get me wrong, that movie's weird. This movie is just, just honestly, sometimes I want to say I think it's just bullshit. Like sometimes I think his vision isn't there. He's just like, I got 400 grand. What
yeah.
fuck can I do?
So I look, and we'll see how
It
his other
it
movies play
it
because
it'd be like if you gave me $4 million and told me to go make a movie with no script. This
yeah.
is what I would
Well,
end up
it's
with.
the way that I feel about Ari Aster's new film, Bo is Afraid. Everybody seems to be like, well, it's like, it's really over the top and it's like so self indulgent. I'm like, motherfucker, you give me the budget you gave Ari Aster and tell me to do whatever I want to do.
That's what I'm doing.
I have all creative freedom and I'm not going to have the studio telling me what to do. I'm going to make something like that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but but I feel like you would write a script
No, yeah, 100%.
that wasn't
Yeah.
just like bullet points and like 2 pages of bullet points and just go from there. Because honestly, like this dude goes and like he meets the mole people, which I guess the mole
Yeah.
makes sense. And he's like, I'm going to bring them out into the sunlight, into probably the worst town ever elicited in a film.
Yeah.
Like, they even say it as like, do you really want to be integrated into this? Like, I think you're better underground. And I was like, not wrong. Because that town was fucked up beyond belief. And I don't know because they were buying and selling people. The husbands were hiding the whores from the wives. The wives were not hiding the I guess the slaves from the husbands. It gets into weird territory, and one of those things, like you said, it's uncomfortable as shit.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is.
Oh, so I okay, Brad. I need to read you some because this is just even making a lot of more stuff. I'm gonna read you some trivia here, Brad. So about the specific scene that I was talking to you about. So I'm not gonna read the whole quote. You can read the whole quote. Let's go on your own, y'all. But um so apparently um in 2019, Hodorowski addressed his earlier comments, clarifying that it was part of a publicity stunt and he didn't actually film a real rape scene. They were words, not facts. Surrealist publicity in order to enter the world of cinema from a position of obscurity. I acknowledge that this statement is problematic in that it presents fictional violence against a woman as a tool for exposure. And now, 50 years later, I regret that it's being read as truth. So he
Well,
did it. Okay.
he talked it back in the
Yeah.
day to try to sell more tickets, which
Yeah.
is not good in any
Which is
way.
also really fucked up.
We're really
Yeah.
fucked up in any form.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least we didn't witness an actual, abuse on the screen.
Yeah. Brad, this was Mexico's official selection as best foreign language film category at the 44th Academy Awards. The
Did
Academy
did
had to
Mexico
watch this.
watch it? Did Mexico watch it?
I have no. Well, so for so long, this was an underground film, Brad. It wasn't officially released in Mexico.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but the
look, there's some
Academy.
stuff here.
I would like to know what those old white fuckers thought of this movie.
That's the part that makes shit. I might just bump it up 0.25 stars right here just for that, because the balls on that man to send this movie and those old white fuckers. Oh my god. So years later, Alejandro Jodorowsky, ashamed of the part he forced his own son to play, invited him to his house. He went with his son to the backyard and asked him to dig. Inside the hole, there was an old teddy bear and an old picture of his mother. And Alexandro said, "Now you are 8 years old and you have the right to be a kid." What the fuck?
I, I mean, I gotta admit, like the kid did some fucked up shit in this film.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
he
he
was naked for
opens,
45 minutes in the
shoots a
scene alone.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he shoots a dude. He rides a horse naked, which had to be uncomfortable as hell. Like
Yeah.
that just does not sound fun. And yeah, it's just I mean I can kind of see where he's coming from. Like, yeah, we're not gonna do that again. That was it's insane.
Yeah. Um, So he also says here, Brad. I just want you to read. I want to read you this because I know it's going to probably confuse you even more. Alejandro Jodorowsky said that the film was not intended to be a comedy, a tragedy, a political film, or a religious film. It was everything.
But if a film is everything, that means it's basically nothing.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, but other noteworthy figures.
If a film is everything, that just means it's shit on a wall.
Yeah.
It's a shotgun blast. It's like whatever hits.
Other noteworthy figures said to be fans of the film, besides John Lennon and Yoko Ono, include directors David Lynch and Samuel Fuller,
I mean
actors Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper, and
that does
performers
not
Bob
surprise me,
Dylan.
and this doesn't surprise me in any form. All those guys were high throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s, and some even to today.
Bob Dylan, Marilyn Manson, and Peter
Yeah.
Gabriel.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
It has been claimed that this movie was the beginning of Gabriel's inspiration for the classics Genesis concept album, "The Lamb Lies Down" on Broadway.
I mean, but the fact he says that he was not making anything with Christian like themes.
Bullshit.
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 You
Yeah.
literally have a lamb nailed to a building in the cross form, and then not only that, you have Moses in the desert. Like bullshit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I like I said, reading some of that stuff is yeah. Well, and, and like I said, look, I have I've read and I've heard of surrealism to like this point, and I've seen surrealist films. I've never seen anything like El Topo. Um, it confused me most of its time. It still made me watch it though. I can't say that the music is better in this film than it is in Santa Sangre. I think that it
I
was
mean, I enjoyed Santa Sangre.
yeah
At least 2/3 of
yeah
the film I enjoyed.
yeah
I don't. This movie just went on and on
yeah.
and on, and I'm sitting there like, is it the end? And I would check, and it's like, nope.
Though the scene inside the church was pretty crazy with the gun.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. With the child, yeah, that was.
Yeah. Um, and
Well,
that
and
was just
another thing, the cult aspect, and like I like certain aspects in this film. I like some stuff
yeah,
like where he takes the cult aspect down and it's got the cross on the back, and it's like, like some stuff works, but not a lot of it, and a lot of
yeah,
it's not cohesive, it's not
yeah,
coherent, it's it's nothing, and that's how I
yeah.
feel about this film. It's like there's too much shit going on, and I honestly think he went in this with not really a story in mind. It just was filming shit because hey, you gave me 400 grand. I'll film shit.
Yeah. I you know what I want to do, Brad, that we haven't done in a while? I want to go to Letterbox. I really want to do.
Oh,
I want to
ooh,
do this. And we'll give our
the
final.
the fives and the
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. I want to give we'll give our final verdict. I'm just going to read 1 5 and 1 1, okay? But I mean 1 half and 1 5. But yeah, I have to see this cuz like maybe there's just something I'm not getting. And like I said, I think with movies like this, it is a disservice that we don't that we just base it off one watch and
Yeah,
like
I
hours
mean,
later.
agreed,
Yeah.
agreed. I mean, I have said before on certain films, like I need to like rewatch this. This might be one of them.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to.
Things will be a while.
It'll be a while, but I don't disagree that this needs a rewatch
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
maybe catch something I'm missing. But when the man says like it's everything, it's like that's you're full of shit. You're full of shit, and you
Full of
don't
shit.
know what the fuck you made.
Yup. All right, let me see this. I'm gonna grab one hat. There's no hat. Oh, not from friends. Everyone. Half. Oh my god. I want one in English, not Spanish. Okay. Um. Quarter understood religious and spiritual notions distilled into a paper thin plot. Acted not out flatly and then shot even worse under the clumsy direction of a hack with a god complex that would make Jim Jones uncomfortable,
I
and
mean,
also by his own admissions, he pretended to sexually assault an actress on camera. So even without watching this garbage, no one can know his ethical and spiritual bankruptcy.
I, I mean, would I call him a hack? I
No,
mean, not after Santa Sangre.
I don't.
Like the
I
man
don't
can
like
make
the
a
use of.
movie.
I
Like he
don't
can
like.
make a
Yeah,
movie, but I don't. Do I like him as a person? Probably not.
I'm really sad that so many people like this film. Is one review. Oh my god. I don't like the word hack. Especially when people who like actually make like actually love movies and love to make them and put a lot of their life and their money and their time to make a movie. Like people who use the word hack, don't actually understand how like grueling and taxing it is to make a movie.
Yeah,
I promise you, nobody wants to go on that set and work those hours if they don't actually love what they're doing.
yeah.
So I never use the word hack, and I what's it called? I know that Zach
I mean,
Stentz even talked about that. He's like he
do
hates when it's used.
and yeah, I don't think like I would not say this is like my overall favorite film, and this is probably not one of my favorite directors. But do I think he's a hack? No.
No,
I think maybe some of his films, at least this film, he did not go in with any kind of plan that I can see, other than take acid and see what pops up on the screen. But do I think he can make a movie? Yeah, because 2/3 of a movie I did enjoy in a previous movie.
yeah. Well, here's the 5 star, Brad. Um, Yet again, I watch a Hodorowski and feel absolutely stumped for words, while simultaneously overcome with thoughts, a complete deconstruction of spaghetti Western ideologies and filmmaking methods, of godlike egos not shitting,
Shifting.
shifting to humility, and occult nightmares where rabbits just normally die after some guy tripping on peyote shows up.
But
Yet a
then
missed.
but this is again like that scene in particular, the Christian just like just the Christian's theme throughout this, even though he says it's not there. Like I was just getting the whole and I am death, and then just everything died around him. That's what I
Yeah.
was getting.
Yeah. Yet amidst all of its coked up chaos, El Topo manages to carry its own extremely human sense of warmth to its subject matter. Violence is excessive and hilariously over the top, but treated as last resorts or acts of ritualized importance. In routines of gunslingers as moments of extreme importance, contrasted with the corrupted religious systems hailing its dangle risk as a cleansing ritual. Each discussion strings into three other threads across the film, growing to such beautiful depths that only a film like Jodorowsky's could. On top of all of it, just also being a genuinely wonderful watch, humanity was legitimately blessed by Jodorowsky's existence.
I wouldn't go that
I wouldn't
far.
go that far, but I think that was a really well written review.
It was
Y'all
a
should
well
go.
written review.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go that far though.
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm gonna like that review. That was a good. That was a well
It was a
written
good
review,
review.
but
That was
yeah.
that was nice.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think now that I have finally like gotten the experience out of the way, I think next time I watch this, I can like put myself in the space to really like sit down to understand what is being said.
Good luck.
Yeah. I would just say this, Brad. Before David Lynch did Dune, this was the man who was so going to do Dune, and there's a documentary detailing everything that he was going to do.
Holy God. That might
Yeah.
be a watch, actually. That
Yeah.
might be a watch.
Yeah, I've wanted to sit down to watch that documentary for a while, but he like discusses everything he was gonna do. Like I believe he was gonna have Mick Jagger play Fade, Ralta,
Which
who
which is hilarious because Sting ends up in
playing
the
Fade
original
Ralph.
Dune. Yeah.
Yeah,
So some rock star ended up in fucking Dune.
yeah. But in that movie, he completely just shit talks um Lynch's Dune, and he's just like it has no. but
Here's the thing with Lynch's Doom. Lynch's Doom was just it was plagued just by total shit on all ends. But
yeah,
honestly, but let's be real. Dune, the book, is huge. It's a huge book.
yeah,
Like, and the technology was not there to do what needed to be done in Dune. Let's be real, because they did the whole space field, and it was like it looked like a big Jello block around them. Um, so when you so I would like to say we're experiencing right now with the new Dune what it should be, because the technology is there and everything is in place for that Dune to exist. So
yeah,
I can't really fault Lynch, because that was an enormous undertaking in itself. And then to not have the technology to do what was said to be done in Dune, because I mean, yeah, you look at Star Wars and all that, but honestly, Star Wars, the most thing they did is they made models and had some laser graphics going on.
yeah. Um, So this is the last thing I'll read about this, but he was gonna have Salvador Dali, Orson Welles, Mick Jagger in the cast.
I
And
mean,
he had selected Pink Floyd and Magma to do the music for the film.
there's some trippy shit going on. I would have loved a Orson Welles, like, just not him starring, but just his voice.
Yeah.
I want Orson Welles'
Dude,
voice.
imagine, oh my god, imagine if Orson Welles would have played the Emperor.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that would have been dope.
Yeah. But we're
I
getting
just want
off topic here.
I just want Orson Welles to narrate everything.
Yeah.
After watching the animated Transformers movie, that's all I want is Orson Welles to narrate like everything of my life.
Yeah. I actually I think I'm gonna find a way to us for us to fit this into the schedule, but I really do want to watch this documentary because yeah, this is really interesting.
That's
But
gotta be interesting.
yeah, Brad, what's your final verdict on El Topo?
Fuck. That's my verdict. Fuck. Um, 5.5.
All right, I'm coming in
I mean,
under.
like you gotta be real. Like, is it fucking weird? Yes, but did my eyes ever really divert from the screen? No.
No,
Do I
that
want to watch it again? No. but it's not like because like I thought it was the most rancid, horrible thing ever to exist. It's more of I just don't get it.
I don't get it, Grandpa.
I don't get it. That's too damn bad.
But yeah, I'm coming in over Brad. Yeah, and I'm
That
gonna
that was
go ahead.
expected,
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm gonna give it a 7.25 here.
What did we give Santa's Angry?
So I gave it a 7.5.
So you 0.25 under Santa.
Yeah, it was gonna be a 7, but after I read that about what's it called,
Okay.
about him sending it
I
for
mean,
the
yeah.
academy
You
and
gotta give
making
him
all those
0.25 for that.
and giving all them old fucks what's it called?
Yeah, that would that just be. I would have liked to been in that room when they were watching that, trying to figure out like
Yeah.
I don't
It's
fucking
just
know.
like when I heard that the Terrifier 2 was sent to the Academy for consideration. You know that somebody sat down to watch Terrifier 2.
And they were like, "What the fuck?"
Oh man, but that concludes our review of El Topo, and we want to thank you all so much for joining us. Look, Brad, we'll say what we say about this movie, but we went 36 minutes. That was longer than the last review we did on a movie that we liked more.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It just this movie is utterly confusing in every way. That's
yeah,
and you can always talk about movies that just blindside you with fuckery and bullshit.
yeah. Yep. We know what sells. But of course, we want to thank you all so much. Make sure you keep up to date with us on thenerdcore.com, Twitter at the Nerdcore underscore, Instagram at the Nerdcore, patreon.com/the Nerdcore. For $1, you get this episode live and early before anybody else gets to watch it. Of course, it is a pleasure to serve the wonderful people of the internet. And you can talk to us on Discord by checking out our Discord link in our video and audio descriptions. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and you leave a like on the video. Plus, you click that notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of action on the channel. Content is coming and you want to be first to watch it. If you're on the audio side of things, make sure you leave a 5-star review. It really helps us out and helps the channel grow. And of course, we want to thank our patrons and supporters, they're the ones who make this possible. And of course, we want to also thank our producer, Shane. Where can you find him, Brad?
You follow my friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at ThriftedIL or go buy something from the Suppy God at PrisonCityVintage.com.
Damn straight. And of course, you can find him at Prison City Vintage in Cresco, Illinois. For now, I don't know where his new store is going to be located, but go support the boy. Without further ado, we'll see you on next week for our review of The Holy Mountain as we continue on with this review, with these reviews of Alejandro Jodorowsky. But, Brad, let's go ahead and send him out.
All right, Raul. Thank you, being host as always. Thank to all those who eventually join us in chat. Thank to all the listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, I'm not going to do anything that was done in this movie. Young Yoda out. That's
Not
too
even
damn
peyote.
bad.
Not even peyote.
That's too damn